Welcome to the program. No.
Yeah,
Hi.
You can say that. It is technically a program.
I felt like Dr. Laura.
Well, you're not berating me.
We got a new attitude. That was her song that she always had.
Really?
In the beginning. She would always change up her songs, I remember, but I think
I don't remember that at all.
It was I got a new attitude because she literally just wanted to change people's attitudes and be like, "You're so dumb about that." Actually, she was.
You
really,
mean be an
she
asshole?
Was good.
She was an asshole.
She was an
She's
asshole.
like,
but
oh
she
wait,
was
you're a single
truthful
mom and you don't get to date ever.
Well, why don't you fucking get your shit together,
right, Linda?
I got a new attitude.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you just put your kid up for adoption
and
then you can go date anybody else? That's pretty much what she said. Like, it was awful.
She was brutal, but some of those people that called into that show needed to fucking hear some hard truths.
Oh, 1,000%. But she would,
like Judge Judy.
I feel like sometimes she would give some solid advice and then she would just take it that step further where I'm like, yeah. And then she would say something else. I'm like, oh.
Oh, God, you are really rude, woman.
She was.
And
that's okay.
Then her opposite counterpart was Delilah. Do you remember Delilah?
I don't think I ever listened to Delilah.
I'm pretty sure it's like a nationwide radio thing, and it's on like later at night on like usually a smooth jazz or a
that sounds nice.
Easy listening radio station.
It sounds nice.
And then people call in with their like song requests, and they're like, I haven't talked to this person I loved in 7 years, and maybe you could play them a song. Delilah. And she's like the opposite of Dr. Laura. She's like rainbows and sunshine.
I was like going to say like rainbows and unicorns.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what she is.
Perfect.
Anyway, Dr. Laura, you are looking very official today across from me because you have a brand new microphone.
I do. Well, I'm still trying to figure it out, but like we're just testing some new equipment to see if it's going to sound any better.
It does sound a lot better. Do you guys think Shay sounds better than me? That's because Shay's microphone's fucking brand new.
So it's kind of funny that we're testing this with two completely different microphones. So
but it'll be good to hear the difference and be like, it'll make our decision easier.
It will, for sure. But anyway, I look very professional over here with my cat in my lap. And
Shay, we usually have to hold our microphones, but that's what I'm doing today.
I know you're doing.
Shay's got her microphone. It's like a legit podcast setup.
It is,
guys.
One step at a time.
We're like armchair experts over here.
Mm-hmm. Except without the beautiful Dax.
Without the beautiful Dax Shepard and Monica Padman. I listen to that podcast a lot.
You do. You listen to it way more than I do.
I do.
For sure.
I really wish we could have gone in Denver, but it was like $250 for tickets. So I'll just listen to you for free.
That's more expensive than Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, I think it's because the goddamn scalpers.
The scalpers.
But you are looking super official.
Thanks, Brianna.
Today.
I like it. Thank you.
Oh, what are you mixing up over there? Don't tell them too much because that's my segment.
Well, it was the very first time I've ever had horchata. We put a little rum in it, so it makes it pretty scrumptious for my little drink here.
So I rolled a food topic last week.
Yes.
So I made some things to make our drink today, and I'm gonna talk to you guys all about that. But basically, we made a dirty rum chata.
Yeah,
and it's fucking good.
It's the only way I want to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch now.
Just with rum.
Mm-hmm.
And
just right into my
I mean, that's another way to make horchata. Just soak some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm pretty sure that's what it'd be like cereal milk, like Christina Tosi does from Milk Bar. You guys know what that is?
I do know what Milk Bar is.
She makes all those like cereal milk things, and it's just soaking cereal, and then she uses the milk,
the
cream whatever.
It's good.
To make things. But yeah, that's what I rolled. What do you roll?
Oh, I rolled some crime, girl, and it's it's a good one.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's definitely a kind of a, because it's a semi-long story, and there's like a bunch of podcasts out there that's like dedicated to this case. So mine's a way more kind of condensed version of it, but I still got it's a good story.
It's got some beef.
Oh,
goody.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I did want to talk about I did finally see Avengers.
Oh yeah, how was that nap of yours?
I guess I didn't see Avengers yet, guys. I did pay for the tickets.
Yeah.
Bought the tickets, picked my seat, fell asleep
in that
legit
seat.
10 times.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
I shouldn't have reclined that damn bistro chair back all the way. It was so comfortable.
Honestly, that's probably, that chair is more comfortable than any twin bed I've ever slept in.
Yeah, it is. And
it's about as big as a twin bed.
I live in a barn right now, so like I don't really have a lot of couch seating arrangements.
Explain though that you don't actually like live in a barn like
no.
with stalls.
I live next to the goats in the hay bales.
Exactly.
No, I don't live like in a working barn. It looks like a little barn. It's like a garage studio.
It's really cute,
apartment thing.
Chip and Joanna Gaines eat your heart out.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
They'd love it.
Yeah. They're like,
I have a bathroom. I have heat. I have an air conditioner in there. A little kitchenette. And then on the property, there's a big main house that's, the old haunted house that we talk about. That's the main house.
Where the little girl lives.
And that's where oh, dude, I had a weird experience yesterday in the Windsor house, speaking of the little girl that lives there.
Probably because Lucy was talking to her.
Yeah, I'm afraid of doors now because of Lucy, even if she wasn't real. But I was in the Windsor house all by myself. That's the main house that I'm talking about, where my barn living situation is. So I was in the main house. I was all by myself. I went upstairs to like make some coffee or something. And there's a room up there that like it's just like storage. We don't like none of the people that work there go in it. Right. I haven't gone in a while. The door was cracked open the other day or yesterday. And I was like,
oh, hell no.
Who went in there? And then I was like, wait, did I go in there? And then I was like, no, I did not go in there.
You know what? Half the time I get scared of stuff, it's always because I forgot that I went into a place. I'm like, oh, that's just my Alzheimer's acting up. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a ghost.
Yeah, I just like to really scare myself. And then I was like, oh my God, I feel like someone is telling me that they want me to leave, so I need to get out. I need to go downstairs.
Was a good way to listen to your gut. So good job.
But I it's mainly paranoia.
Or is
and we know how I feel about paranoia. It ain't the way to live your life from day to day, so leave your doubt in sync. Remember that? Remember that
I'm
song?
Also pretty sure once you get one of these mics, that's all you're gonna be doing is like
I'm just gonna
be singing in a sound booth.
I
know that's what you're gonna be doing.
Okay, so when I get a mic someday, half this podcast will be me singing random songs. Yeah. So get ready for that. Anyway, basically, I fell asleep in Avengers and my house is haunted. That's all I wanted to say, I guess.
Well, from the bits of Avengers that you did see, did you like it?
I do like superhero movies. I think I'm so far away from them now that, like, I don't have any idea what's going on. Like, even Guardians of the Galaxy, I need to watch them again because I don't really understand the premise.
Right.
But I like the music and the entertaining.
But it's almost good that you don't, like, you like superhero movies, but you're not super invested in it. So it's just like, I go in and it's a good ride and get some laughs and it's
get a good nap, a good fucking $25 nap. Sweet.
It's like a one night stand. It's great.
Oh, what did happen though? So
I like how you ignore my
in between. Wait, what? What did you just say? I did ignore you.
I said it's like a one night stand.
Oh.
You go in with zero expectations.
I was like, yeah.
You go with zero expectations. You walk going, meh, or that was amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you go back to the movies. Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you go see the movie again. Sometimes you're like, I don't need to see that, even though I've fucking It wasn't that
Sometimes
exciting.
You're like, you know what? I'm going to buy that on video. It's going to be great.
I'm going to buy that on video. God damn, girl. Get over here, girl. I'm going to buy that on video. Anyway.
That was fun. So anyway, do you want to jump right into these topics?
Yeah, let's start talking about something else.
Perfect.
Yes, let's jump in to food. Well, like we said earlier, I based my cooking segment today on the drink that we made. And we made dirty rum chata today.
It's delicious.
And the reason we made this, or I made this, was because I was, browsing around on my Instagram this week. And if you guys follow us on Instagram, you might have seen me post something about this drink that I found on the New York Times cooking Instagram. And it was this beautiful looking fucking drink that was this dirty horchata. But we decided to add rum to it because we always have a little booze in the morning for our podcast.
It's true. And since you made everything else, I picked up the rum and I got some Kraken.
The Kraken.
And I actually shuddered when I could have probably picked up like Captain Jack or whatever. I don't know. I don't drink rum. I drink a lot of vodka, but I don't drink a lot of rum.
I don't either. I don't really like rum usually. So
it's a little too sweet for me. But this, I drink like, I think a whole half a handle of it. When I was a massage therapist, one of my first jobs, we went over to a Christmas party at my boss's house. And that was the first time I ever drank rum. And that, until this moment right now, was the last time I drank rum, which was like 7 fucking years ago. Because I got hammered on Kraken and Mountain Dew. So real classy. Real classy. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
At my boss's house. So that was pretty cool.
Kraken and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It wasn't awesome. It was rough.
That sounds good.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, something similar happened to me with rum back in the day. I mean, back in high school.
Right.
Sorry, Mom. We used to drink Admiral Nelson rum, like spiced rum. So, like, I can't even drink Coca, which is fine. I don't want to drink Coca-Cola, but I can't drink Coca-Cola because it literally smells like Admiral Nelson to me.
Is that why, like, when you do, like, whiskey chasers, you always have to have, instead of, like, a Coke, whatever,
I hate Coca-Cola.
You have to have, like, that's why you always have Dr. Pepper, because I've always wondered that. You're like, I just like it better, but that's the reason. I do
like it better, but I also, like, I can't drink Coca-Cola.
Like, it'll make you gag.
It just makes me think of that and just getting sick of it. Of it
totally
when I
fair.
was a young lass.
Weirdly enough, like, because I hate vomiting so much, I actually did not throw up the next morning. I actually gave massages. It was awesome. I almost threw up, but I thought I wouldn't get a good tip if I did that.
You smell like barf, lady. Gross. Anyways, let's talk about this delicious drink that I just made.
Let's switch gears and do that. Yeah.
So you're probably wondering, what does drinking a drink have to do with cooking?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I made all the things that go in this drink. So, I don't know. So, I'm going to start off by talking about horchata. And Shay didn't really know what horchata was. Do you know what horchata is?
Worst Mexican ever.
Well, and I thought you were the worst Mexican ever for not knowing what horchata was. But then, once I researched it, I mean, it's associated with Hispanic and Latin cultures.
Because it just sounds
nowadays.
Horchata.
But the famous drink actually began in Africa, in the Middle East. And then it spread to Spain with the Muslim conquest back in 1000 CE, which I saw that date and was like, what the fuck is CE?
So is that before BC?
It's after. It's the same as AD.
Were they like, it's just a different...
It's just a different abbreviation. It's what they use now for saying AD, I guess, and it means common era.
I wonder why.
You guys, I did not know that at all. Anyways, so the drink dates back fucking a long time. So, from Valencia, Spain, it made its way over to the New World, and from then it became known as horchata de chufo, which we know horchata today as being made with rice milk, but originally it was made with these cool little nuts. It's actually a nut milk, guys.
Whoa.
It's made with these cool nuts called tiger nuts.
It was the first hipster drink.
Or chufas. And it's actually a tuberous root. And the chufa nuts have their origin in Egypt. Anyways,
Chufa.
the eastern Spanish province of Valencia was best known for growing this chufa, which is why they started making it with these which is why they would make it with these tiger nuts. And they have a really high level of iron and potassium, so they're really fucking good for you too. And they're valued for their minerals and vitamins. Okay, so as more and more cultures came to embrace the beverage, they began formulating their own recipes, and horchata de arroz is now the most popular in Mexico and Guatemala.
Oh.
And also there's another horchata de ajonjolí. That's how I'm going to say it.
Oh,
which
frijoles.
actually utilizes sesame seeds, and that's what they do in Puerto Rico.
Oh.
So there's just a bunch of different variations, and now the one that we know, that I knew the most, which was made with rice milk, is just a different variation from this original drink that they made.
Damn.
So, it's basically, horchata is a cinnamon rice milk, and what you do is, and what I did was you just let rice soak overnight, and then you blend it all up and you strain it, and you get rice milk.
That's fancy.
Isn't that neat?
It's super neat.
So I got some just white long grain rice from the grocery store. And I measured 2 cups of that out and put it in a bowl. And then I added 2.5 cups of just regular room temperature water. Doesn't have to be cold. And then you just cover that and let it soak at room temperature for a minimum of 12 hours. I think I let mine soak for about 14.
Oh, so yeah.
Actually, that's a lie. I let it soak for longer than that. It was almost a day, but you can let it soak for a day too.
Right. It's just definitely not an instant gratification drink.
Yeah, no.
It's a work of art.
You can't just blend some rice with some water. I mean, you can. It's just not going to taste the same.
I would hope. I mean, I would think not.
And then also, basically, if you ever want to make your own nut milk.
Right.
Not from a man.
Milking that seed.
You know how to make that. Ooh. Come out. Anyways.
Jesus Christ. Only classiness here at 30.
She's single.
Oh, yeah.
She knows how to make your nut milk come out. Anyways, we're talking about different nut milk.
I know.
From a nut from a tree or something. You do the same thing basically. So you take some nuts, you soak it in water overnight, and then you blend them up and strain them the next day, and you have your goddamn own almond milk that you made from the teats of the almond.
Just right from the little teats.
Just milk it right up. So obviously, like usually nut milks, you can really taste like the almond, the cashew, whatever. Right. With rice milk, you can't really, it doesn't taste like rice. You just get the sweetness from the rice. And that's why they like using
I probably would like that because it's like pea milk.
It is.
It is.
Not your actual, when you said pea at first, I was like.
It's not, no. What? It's, it's like the milk you get when you pee and you siphon out the proteins and it's great.
I love that.
PEA.
It's like using your own yeast to make bread, isn't it? Anywho.
Man, it's a rough Sunday over here at 30ish.
Bringing it back.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can make pea milk if you want. You can make fucking cashew milk, macadamia nut milk, which is...
So any kind of milk you can make.
Some fucking macadamia nut milk. That'd be
that'd be pretty good. That'd be awesome.
So yeah, that's how you make rice milk, guys. And that's what I did. So this morning... I poured the rice and that liquid, everything into the blender. I blended it up for a couple minutes. And then I used, you can use like you can buy something called a nut bag.
Oh.
And it's like a nice fine mesh sieve. You want something really fine. You can also use a flour sack towel, which is what I used, or like one of those like cheese towels, like the really thin ones that you can get around town.
Like, you just get like cheesecloth or whatever?
Yeah.
That's the same thing?
Just make sure if you do cheesecloth, you just want to make sure it's layered a couple times so that you also want to make sure that your cheesecloth is wide enough, because what you do is you put, so I put my little towel in a bowl and then I poured everything into it and then I lifted up that towel and like squeezed it out. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll post a picture of my squeezing.
Perfect.
Ew, that sounds very weird.
Well, we've already gotten pretty dirty here already, so
you're fine. It's just going with the flow.
It is. Literally.
So yeah, you want to be able to have enough excess so that you can like bring it over and you can squeeze it and wring it out so you can get all that milk out. So if you do use cheesecloth, just make sure you layer it a couple times. You don't want to just do one layer because that's going to be way too not going to be mashy enough. Yeah. And it'll break. And you won't get the right product.
No. You won't.
So that's how I made rice milk. Now let's talk about how we made this drink dirty. So I don't know if you know about this, but I used to be a barista back in the day. Oh. That's my first little job. And if you call something dirty, it just means it has coffee in it.
Right.
So like a dirty chai. Coffee in your chai. So we made dirty horchata. So we had to put coffee in here. But we didn't just put any coffee in here, Shay.
Oh. What kind of
Do you know what kind of coffee we put in here? It's cold brew, motherfuckers.
Oh, okay.
The coolest coffee around
It
nowadays.
was a trick question. Okay.
It was. I'm just going to talk at you.
Perfect.
Like this. And now I forgot to talk about this, but it's time for coffee talk.
It's coffee talk.
All right. All right. So we're going to talk about the coffee and how we made it.
Perfect.
Anyways.
I like it.
That went a lot better in my head.
No, it went well.
So cold brew coffee.
I can't do that. Back at you.
Cold brew coffee, guys, is not just hot coffee poured over ice. That is blaspheme. Blasphemy.
There it is.
It is blasphemous.
It's femurs. It's so many blasted femurs.
So basically, cold brew is made by slow steeping coffee beans before straining them out. And the result is a dark, intense coffee that can sometimes be a little bitter. But it just extracts that caffeine and the flavor, and you just let it sit overnight. Right. Another thing, you just let it sit overnight. So first, when you're making cold brew, you want to make sure you have some pretty good beans. You don't want to just use like, oh, I have some like 8-month-old coffee laying around in my fridge or in my house. I'm just going to make cold brew out of it. You could definitely do that, but it's probably not going to taste very good. And you want your stuff to taste good, right?
I mean, in theory, yeah.
You know, you do.
You do.
So, you want to use, I mean, you don't have to use like brand new beans, but you want them to be at like no longer than a couple weeks old, several weeks old.
All right, fair.
And also, the grind is really important when you're making cold brew coffee.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're making like pour over hot coffee, it's supposed to be really fine. But when you're making cold brew coffee, you want it to be really coarse.
Why?
Because
I don't know jack shit about coffee.
So if it's too fine, it'll over extract because there's going to be more.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know the science behind all of this.
Yeah, girl.
Damn.
So it'll just steep for too long, and because there's more surface area on the coarser grind, it just extracts it slower instead of it just being,
there. Okay.
So, and if it's over extracted, it'll just be like super bitter.
Okay.
And no one wants that.
Nobody wants bitter coffee.
So the basic formula for cold brew is a pound of ground coffee to a gallon of water. Well, I don't run a coffee shop, so I didn't make that much.
Okay.
So basically, the ratio is a quarter pound of beans to 4 cups of water. So also that could be like an ounce per cup also. That's how I did it. So I got my beans at King Supers, #Dazbog coffee beans.
You got them Dazbog ones, they're good.
And I grind them on the coarse grind, the coarsest grind you can. On this actual machine, it said coarse, but it should be like the coarsest it can go.
Right.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. Ground it up, and then I weighed out 3 ounces of coffee and did 3 cups of water.
Boom.
And I just put it in a little measuring cup, let it sit for 24 hours.
And then there you go.
And then this morning, me and Shay, when I got here, I guess it was at 11.
But that's still morning.
Yeah. We squeezed it out. Mm-hmm. And it made this dark, rich, yummy coffee. And so when you do that, again, it's it's a coffee concentrate basically. So you don't want to just drink that like you were,
Right.
It's going to have a lot of caffeine. So you do want to dilute it unless you're ready to fucking poop your pants and jump around on the walls.
Well, that
at
sounds
the
like
same
a good time. That just sounds great.
So unless you're trying to go for that, I would maybe dilute your if you're just drinking it with cold brew, like as cold brew, definitely dilute it a little because you'll be convulsing.
Just wear a diaper.
Don't drink 12 ounces of that because you might have a heart attack.
Well, that's true too.
Unless you're high tolerance and you just need it.
That would kill me.
But yeah, so that was our cold brew. And so to make this delicious drink.
I know, we got like a little upper and a downer in one drink.
Yeah, so we made our rice milk.
Yeah.
We made our cold brew, had that. And another thing this recipe called for was sweetened condensed milk, which I know most of you know that you can buy that at the store. And I cheated and also bought it at the store, which that's not cheating at all.
No.
It's not. But you can make sweetened condensed milk. Did you know that?
I did know that. But
I bet you did, you little pastry
I did.
lady. But I didn't know if these other people knew they can just make it at their home.
That's totally fair.
And there's a couple different ways to do it. The main way is just slow cooking sugar and milk for a couple hours, but that's sometimes a little time consuming, and it can also be a little testy because it can scald because milk is a little...
You gotta watch that shit.
It's a little testy. So I have this really awesome cookbook that I love called Bittersweet, and it's by Stella Parks, and it's filled with like really classic like American desserts, but it like gives you the recipes for them. Like, it even has cookies and Reese's peanut butter cups.
They look delicious.
And all the classic pies, and they're just really, really fucking good recipes too.
Yeah, they are.
So one of the recipes in here is for a quick version of sweetened condensed milk, which you use, instead of just milk, you use heavy cream as well, and that just helps it. So it goes faster, it'll thicken quicker, and it's delicious. A lot less sensitive to the heat because cream, you can fucking boil cream and it just gets silky and sexy smooth. It is.
It'll make that shit rich as fuck.
So yeah, you guys could even make your own fucking sweetened condensed milk with just sugar, heavy cream, milk, and a little bit of salt. So yeah. Anyway, so that's what our recipe called for. So what we did to make this delicious drink was after we got our rice milk, we added some nutmeg and cinnamon. I added I like mostly cinnamon because that's the flavor you get in horchata mainly, is you get that cinnamon flavor.
Right.
You can usually get them at a lot of like taquerias or Mexican places. And some places, which I hate this. Playing footsie with Shay.
I'm getting a little drunk off this drink.
Some places it tastes like they just use that like fake, like, like a Fireball, like sucker candy. Like that cinnamon, that kind of cinnamon flavor, like
they
a
do
hot
not
tamale.
Make those. Holy shit. Yeah, I get what you're saying now.
Not Fireball.
Oh, God.
But I mean, that's what it's from.
Yeah.
some places I found in Fort Collins use that, which is fine. I just don't like that fake cinnamon. I like the real canela cinnamon. Canela is cinnamon, I'm pretty sure, in Spanish. Okay.
I don't know. Piñata.
I do.
Wow. Well, good job.
Just kidding.
Good on you.
So yeah, we added some cinnamon and nutmeg and blended that in the blender. And then mixed all that with some whole milk. Poured that in glasses with some ice. And then put a couple, I think I did like maybe a third of a cup of the cold brew in that. And then we added a shot of rum. And we made fucking bomb ass.
It's pretty
dirty.
Good. I'm slowing down a little bit because it gets really rich. You know, you kind of forget until you're like someone's like, yeah, you can stop now, thanks though.
And we definitely tried it just without the rum too. Yeah, and it is like
really good.
I want to drink it every day.
Yeah,
in the morning.
But then I'll be 500 pounds.
No, you made rice milk. But there's a lot of sugar.
But you put like a half a can of condensed milk
in
there.
You're right. Yeah. The recipe called for a whole can of condensed milk. We put about 3/4 of a cup of condensed milk, and it was sweet enough.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I forgot that's in it. I was like, we made rice milk.
I know, it's fine.
Healthy.
It's really fun. It's fine.
But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that, also, cold brew coffee is literally like everywhere you see, and I just wanted to show you it's really easy to make at your house.
And that's awesome. Which I didn't know that.
Try it out.
Yeah, I should try that out.
It's easy.
I think if I just like cold brew more, and I don't. I like my shit hot. You know, like all the more hot. To like burn the inside of my mouth, the better.
Well, that's fine. If you don't like cold drinks, you won't like this.
It's fair. I mean, I do like cold drinks. I'm not an animal.
Animals don't like cold drinks.
I've tried throwing ice cubes and putting shit in my cat's bowl, and he's like, "Get this out of here." All right.
I'm done with my cooking.
All right.
I cooked a lot today.
So on to the other C.
And you're probably thinking like, yeah, she didn't cook, but yeah, I used food to make segment. Our drink. And
no, it's a food segment. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Remember?
We changed it.
They know that. They're all They're fine. They're fine. Yeah. All right. To the other C.
To the other side.
Here we go. Crime. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about
crime time.
I think I mentioned this earlier, but there's like 1,000, I think, podcast episodes on this, which I didn't even know where to start. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to
1,000?
Like 1,000. There's a bunch of it because this actually is the unsolved homicide case of the Texarkana Moonlight murders.
Ooh, I don't know about it.
Oh, good.
Wait, do I?
You might have. This actually is...
Inhaled my canela.
Yeah, did you?
My canela.
I know. Cinnamon?
Yeah.
Oh, see? I'm learning.
Will.
So, out of the unsolved crimeness, actually, this, which is maybe where you've heard it, is actually there's an urban legend that has kind of spawned its way out of this case. Yeah.
That's a creepy movie. Do you remember that movie, Urban Legend?
Oh, I don't think I ever saw that one. But I heard about it.
It was a 90s horror film.
That was like when Rebecca, what's her name?
Her name Stamos?
No, the gay heart. And she kind of like really big eyes, and I think you would know her if you saw her. I think she was in Urban Legend. So I think that was.
I think I only have seen part of that movie because I was just really afraid to watch it.
That's fair.
I didn't fall asleep though. Back then, I didn't fall asleep in movies. I was too scared to watch them.
Yeah.
But I don't know that lady's name. Yeah. With the big eyes.
With the big eyes. I think it was Rebecca Gayheart. It was like her big heyday. She did like Jawbreaker and shit.
Oh, yeah.
See, you know.
Girl.
You know.
Okay.
Anyway, so I also want to make a note that I got a lot of my shit from an article called from Modern Notion. Just because I'm trying to be better about doing my sources.
Oh, that's good.
So, and then of course the all ever saving Wikipedia.
Oh yes.
All right, so this takes place in like 1940s. So,
okay.
It was February 22nd, 1946.
So a little after Leopold and Loeb.
Actually, yeah. This was not to their knowledge, it's not a spree killing. So, but who knows? So, at around 11:45 p.m. on Friday, February 22nd, 1946, Jimmy Hollies, age 25, and his girlfriend Mary Jeanne Larry. I could be saying their names wrong, so I apologize. And
she's pissed.
Yeah, she's super bad. She was 19 at the time. Parked on a secluded road known as Lover's Lane.
Oh, the Lover's Lane.
Yeah. So have you heard of these?
I feel like
you might have. Okay, so around 10 minutes later, at 11:55, a man wearing a white cloth mask, which resembled a pillowcase with eye holes cut out, appeared at Holly's driver's side door and flashed a flashlight in the window. Unsure if the man was pranking him, Holly's told him he had the wrong person, to which the man responded, "I don't want to kill you, fellow, so do what I say." Both Hollies and Larry, and again, I think that's how you say her name, but I could be wrong, so sorry, were ordered out of the driver's side door, and the man ordered Hollies to take off his goddamn breeches. After he complied, the man struck him in the head twice with a pistol. Larry would later tell investigators that the noise was so loud she had initially thought he had been shot, when in fact it had been his skull fracturing. Can you imagine how loud that was?
God.
Ugh, yeah. Thinking the assailant wanted to rob them, she showed him Holly's wallet. She showed him Holly's wallet to prove he had no money, and after which she was struck by a blunt object. The assailant ordered her to stand, and when she did, told her to run. Initially, she tried to flee toward a ditch, but the assailant ordered her to run a different direction up the road, so it seems like it's like this game to him. So Larry spotted an old car parked off the road, but found it empty, and was again confronted by the attacker, who asked her why she was running. She responded that he had told her to do so. He called her a liar before knocking her down and sexually assaulting her with the barrel of his gun.
What?
Right, so this guy is fucking Looney Tunes. But can you imagine? It's like something right out of a fucking horror movie.
Yeah. Like, this is what all the horror movies
exactly
in that era were like made after.
Right. So after the assailant, Larry fled on foot, running a half a mile to a nearby house. A car passed by the residence which she attempted to call. A car passed by the residence, which she attempted to call for, but was ignored. Larry was able to awaken the residents of the house and phone police. Meanwhile, Hollies had regained consciousness and managed to flag down a passerby by Richmond Road, which is where they were attacked by. So the motorist left Hollies at the scene and drove to a nearby funeral home, where he was able to call police. Within 30 minutes, the Bowie County Sheriff, his name was, well, it's in parentheses, W.H., but it says parentheses Presley, or Bill Presley, and 3 other officers arrived at the scene of the attack, but the assailant had already left. They found Holly's pants 100 miles. Found Holly's pants 100 yards away from the parked car. So Larry was hospitalized overnight for minor head wounds, while Holly's was hospitalized for several days to recover from multiple skull fractures. But they both survived, obviously, if we're getting this whole story.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right. So, but obviously they both survived because we got this whole entire detailed story.
And he just wanted him to take his pants off.
I guess so. I don't know. Like, well, again, if he's telling this poor woman to run around and then just be like, no, I didn't say that, and then like fucking just, he's a weirdo.
Take your pants off.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
This is my first time. I just need one more do-over. Jesus. Hollies and Larry gave conflicting reports to law enforcement as to what their attacker looked like. Larry claimed the man was wearing a white bag over his head with cutouts for the eyes and mouth, and that she could see underneath under the mask that he was apparently African American.
African America.
So America. African American. Hollies alternately claimed the man was white and around 30 years old, but conceded he could not distinguish his features, as he had been blinded with a flashlight. Both agreed that
with a couple bludgeons to the head.
That's true too. Both agreed that the assailant was around 6 feet tall. Law enforcement repeatedly challenged Larry's account and believed that she and Hollies knew the identity of the attacker, but was covering it up essentially. Which I don't really understand that. Like, why would they do that? Like, no, I think that you guys just beat each other up. How about that? Yeah, that's what we did. It was just a sex crime gone terribly wrong.
Oh, okay.
that's not what they said. But yeah. Anyway.
So wait, they both had different descriptions of the
Yeah.
person.
So the woman was claiming he was black, and the guy was like, no, wait, no.
Yeah.
Was it Holly's that said that she was?
She said that he.
Yeah. So she said that he was black, and Holly's was like, no, she's a dumb bitch, and it's not. No, he didn't say that, but like, he said like, no, I mean, I might have had my head crushed in, but I could see through my bludgeoned eyeballs, and it was like I could see blood. He was not black. So by them having conflicting reports, they're like, there's no way, like, you know, not taking into account, I don't think that his head had been bashed in. So. Yeah. Anyway, so they're just claiming they're like, whatever. This is nothing to worry about. Like, they know their attacker, and it was somebody that targeted them or something like that. So anyway, so a month goes by, and or was it? Yeah, about a month. So so Richard L. Griffin, age 29, and his girlfriend of 6 weeks, Polly Ann Moore. I just love these names. They're just very 1940s.
They're very Pleasantville.
So he was 29, and Polly Ann Moore was 17. They were found dead in Griffin's Oldsmobile sedan on Sunday, March 24th of 1946 between 8:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. by a passing motorist. The motorist saw the parked car on Lover's Lane, that damn Lover's Lane, named Rich Road. The motorist at first thought that they were both asleep. Griffin had been shot twice while still in the car, and both had been shot once in the back of the head and were fully clothed. A blood-soaked patch of earth near the car suggested to police that both had been killed outside the car and placed back inside.
Ew.
Yeah. Congealed blood was found covering the running board and had flowed to both through the bottom of the car door. And a 32 cartridge shell was also found, possibly shot from a Colt inside the blanket.
Could you imagine?
No.
Being.
What are we about to say? No.
Could you not imagine being murdered?
No.
Could you imagine being like a cop that like has to find that kind of shit, or like being anyone that just finds?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I like puzzles, but holy shit, Jesus Christ, no.
I don't need to find that.
I don't need to find that, but I can't imagine looking at.
I always think I'm gonna stumble across something, but I never do.
In
which
Fort
is
Collins?
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, in Windsor behind the old house. There's some weird shit that goes on back there, I think.
Just lots of shady happenings and murders.
There's always random shit back there. And I'm like,
oh, you just mean like you're going to find like just like something random.
Yeah, some evidence or a dead body.
They're like, oh, that burn looks great.
But perfect. Like, I just can't imagine actually finding.
Yeah.
Like, Anyway, yeah. Go on.
Okay.
Just a little
side thing.
Thought.
Yes, I like the side thoughts. Okay. So no reports indicate that either Griffin or Moore were examined by a pathologist. We know what that word means. The local rumor was that a sexual assault also occurred, but modern reports refute this claim. So, but again, this murder actually was not done by, or it was not foreseen. Like, it wasn't, a coroner didn't, for whatever reason, I think it was a reports that a mistake had happened, so no autopsy, or the coroner made a mistake essentially. So there was conflicting reports that there was sexual assault, but modern reports say there's not, so we don't know. Again, it was 1946 in a podunk town. Texarkana is also like, it's on the border of Arkansas and Texas, so that's why it's called Texarkana. So half the city is like split. It's half is in Arkansas, half is in Texas, half is in Texas.
Weird.
I know, right? I think there's a couple towns like that. I think there's one town in Tennessee like that. Mm. Like one person, what's right next door to, it's border across, but I can't. Kentucky. I can't remember, but I think it's like that, where like you could like put 1 foot in Tennessee and one foot in the other state.
Well, the Four Corners.
Oh, there you go. You can be in all different states at once.
And then Iowa City, Iowa, and Iowa City, Nebraska.
Oh,
or like,
I don't know.
Sioux City, Iowa, and Sioux City, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Are like next to each other. I don't know.
Anyway. Geography.
Just fucking name the town something different. There's more names in the world that you could use for a town.
That's what I'm saying.
But I like that name.
I want to. It's gonna be better than that one, so it's fine.
But I want this town in my state.
Exactly. So we're just going to do it anyway. By March 27th, local police had interviewed around 50 to 60 witnesses, including patrons and employees of Club Dallas, a local bar near the crime scene. By March 30th, police had posted a 500...
Club Dallas.
Right? Posted a $500 reward in an effort to gain new information on the Griffin and Moore case that would lead to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible. However, the rewards obviously the rewards yielded no fruitful clues or suspects, instead producing over 100 false leads. So a big waste of fucking time. Yeah. So, a month later, on the evening of Saturday, April 13th, Betty Jo Booker, age 15, was playing... Betty Jo was playing her alto saxophone in her regular weekly gig with her band, the Rhythm Aries, which is like Luminaries. So they're like the first hipster band, but like I think it probably was like a big band kind of thing. So,
how cute!
So they were playing at the VFW Club. And
that's my favorite place.
Is that your favorite? It's my favorite club.
The VFW.
I know, it sounds like a fucking like a veterans club.
Veterans, it is.
Oh, then I'm an asshole.
That's exactly what it stands for.
Then
the Veterans.
What's F?
FW.
There it is. Okay.
I don't know. There's a couple in Nebraska I've been to before.
Did you volunteer there?
I didn't, but we had a show.
Oh, what?
A party.
You did a
party.
A
sock hop.
You won the best damn tapper.
I did. And I won a pickle.
Oh. I hope it was a real pickle. Around 1:30.
Hashtag dick jokes.
Yeah, all day here apparently. Around 1:30 a.m. Sunday morning, April 14th, her friend Paul Martin, age 16, arrived to pick her up from the performance. This was the last time the pair was seen alive. So Martin's body was found at around 6:30 in the morning. He had been shot 4 times, once through the nose, which, God, can you imagine?
No.
Again through the left front rib from behind, a 3rd time in the right hand, and finally through the back of the neck. Ah! Can you?
Oh, those are some special spots.
I know. Jesus Christ.
Poor little Timmy Joe.
I know. Well, actually, if you look at a picture of him, he looks like he's 12 fucking years old. It's actually kind of sad. I just keep imagining him like in his like car, like just on like a set of books. It's like, I'll have to show a picture of it. It's pretty sad. Brooker's body was not found until approximately 11:30 a.m. around 2 miles away from Martin's body behind a tree. Her body was lying on its back, fully clothed, with the right hand in the pocket of the buttoned overcoat. Brooker had been shot twice, once through the chest and once in the face. The weapon used was the same as in the double murder. It was a .32 automatic Colt pistol. Despite conflicting reports, police concluded that she had been sexually assaulted before being shot to death, which, again, it sounds like, how did you figure that out? Like,
yeah.
So, and again, we kind of go into that, like, the police kind of wanted to mold this story a certain way. And the press did, not the police, but the press did. So I think people were jumping to conclusions.
Yeah. I'm not laughing at the story. I'm laughing at your cat's tail.
I know, and his butt,
face,
like his butt wiggling
on my. Also, I think I laughed at a very serious part when you were just talking. So just so you guys know, I'm not a crazy person.
Yes.
The cat was doing something weird.
My cat's trying to mate with her. Anyway, Martin's 1946. I don't know why this was so specific on like the car make and model, but it kind of cracks me up. Anyway, Martin's car was found about 3 miles away from Brooker's body and 1.5 miles away from his body. It was parked outside Spring Lake Park with the key still in it. The authorities were still not sure who was shot first. Sheriff Presley and Texas Ranger Captain Manuel Gonzalez said that the examinations of the bodies indicated they had put up a terrific struggle, which, again, the adjectives are kind of weird to me, but that's fine. That's 1946.
What a terrific struggle you went through.
What a terrific one. Like, you know what? If you were in school, A fucking plus. You know what? Good job.
A+ on your struggles.
Too bad you still died. Jesus Christ.
Too bad you didn't struggle enough.
Right?
So A-.
Yeah, seriously. Like, that's a really weird way to describe that horrible, horrible outcome. A reward fund exceeding $1,700, so roughly $22,000 today, was accrued for information leading to the persons responsible in the Griffin, Moore, and Martin Booker.
So they had
Booker
no
murders.
leads?
They had none. They couldn't. And again, like,
except for the 100 people that were
because
false.
they put a word out there. So they're like, we need some new livestock. So let's fucking, yeah. I mean, this is out kind of in the middle of nowhere. This is
In
1946.
the
There's no forensic science. There's none of that. So, and really, honestly, the only thing they really find at the crime scene was, I think, at the first one, the one that the murders happened, the first double homicide. They found a flashlight, and I guess it was a very rare flashlight. So that was the only lead. Like, hey, everybody, if you know anybody that had this flashlight, or you had this flashlight and you know, like, a friend that might have had it or whatever, like, you might be able to help us find this person. So that was the only lead they had. They had and I think they had like one, like, partial fingerprint at the first, like, homicide scene. But that was it. But they didn't have any suspects at the time. Rumors circulated throughout the era, with the one rumor suggesting a local minister had turned his own son in as a suspect in the Martin Brooker murders. On April 18th, Police Captain Gonzalez issued a statement to the public during a press conference, assuring the public that the murderer had not been caught and that the rumors circulating around the public and in the newspapers are a hindrance to the investigation and harmful to innocent people. So just rumors are spreading around, and police are like, fucking knock it off. Like, you're not helping anything, and now you're just,
this
you're
is making it worse.
Right, you're turning the town against each other, so stop it. So
get a fucking grip.
Right. So another month passes by. So on maybe like a couple weeks, actually. So because that was April 13th, and this next incident happened on May 3rd. On Friday, May 3rd, on Friday, May 3rd, sometime before 9 p.m., Virgil Starks, age 37, a farmer and welder, was in the modest yet modern ranch-style house. I just had to keep that in because I thought it was fucking hilarious. On his 500-acre farm, a very modest piece of property. He sat in his armchair in the sitting room, which was just off of the kitchen and the bedroom. While Katie was in the bedroom, lying on the bed in her nightgown. I don't know why this is very specific like this, but whatever. She heard something from the backyard and asked Virgil to turn down the radio.
Wait, she was in a nightgown?
Yeah,
Perfect.
Okay,
keep
scandalous. Seconds later, while Virgil was reading I love this part of it because seconds later, while Virgil was reading the May 3rd edition of the Texarkana Gazette.
They gotta represent.
I know, right? 2 shots were fired into the back of his head from a closed window 3 feet away. Katie did not hear the gunshots. Instead, she heard what sounded like the glass breaking. She thought Virgil dropped something and went to see what happened. As she entered the doorway to the living room, she saw Virgil standing up and then suddenly slumped back into his chair. She saw blood, then ran to him and lifted up his head. Then, when she realized he was dead, she ran to the phone to call police. She rang the wall crank phone. I'm imitating it. 2 times before being shot twice in the face from the same window. One bullet entered her right cheek and exited behind her left ear. Like that. And yikes. The other went in the lower jaw just below the lip, breaking it and splintering out several teeth.
Splintering out several teeth. Oh.
Yeah, I just can hear like the sound of like those of the porcelain teeth falling on the floor.
They might have been wooden back then.
I know, who knows. Yeah, so splintering out several teeth before lodging under her tongue. Wait. And it's splintering out several teeth before lodging under the bullet, I'm sorry. And splintering out several teeth before lodging under her tongue, so the bullet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she dropped to her knees.
You die instantly from that.
She dropped to her knees, but soon managed to get on her feet. So
no,
no,
you don't.
you sure fucking don't. I mean, think about it. When you
that hurts my face.
right? Can you imagine?
Nope, I can't.
No. She ran to get the pistol from the living room, but she was blinded by her own blood. She heard the killer's tearing.
Goddamn blood blinding everyone today.
I know. She heard the killer tearing loose the rusted screen wire on the back porch. She thought she was going to be killed, so she stumbled toward the bedroom near the front of the house to leave a note. Meanwhile, the killer ran to
leave a note.
Right? Hey,
And I guess
I'm
that's
dead.
all you can do.
Right?
I died. That's why my head's bashed in.
Right? Everything goes to my cow. Meanwhile,
Because my husband's also dead.
yes, help us, God. So yeah, I don't think they had any kids. So meanwhile, the killer ran to the back of the house and made his way up the steps and into the side screened. Oh yeah, okay. Meanwhile, the killer ran up to the back of the house and made his way up to the steps and into the side screened porch through the back screen door. She heard the killer coming through the kitchen window, so she turned around and ran through the dining room. This is all why her face has been blown
While she's
off.
blinded by the blood in her eyes.
Jesus Christ. Through the bedroom.
Oh my God.
Down a hallway, through another bedroom, and then into the living room and out the front door.
God damn, that lady's a boss bitch.
Right? Leaving behind virtually a river of blood and teeth throughout the house and across the street. Jesus.
Well, they know who it is.
So this girl was like fucking like family circusing around her fucking house, like with like the dotted lines, just trying to get out the fucking house. Barefooted.
Meanwhile, she can't see because there's a bunch of blood in her eyes because she's been shot in the face twice.
She's just fucking losing teeth.
What an incredible woman. What's her name?
What was?
Betty Lou Who?
No, who was no more than 2.
Pollyann Sue.
Right? I don't know.
Marjorie Jean.
Katie. Just Katie.
Oh, Katie. Perfect.
Katie,
okay.
Katie.
I'm glad I said all those other names before and it ended up just being Katie.
I know. So barefooted and still in her blood-soaked nightgown, she ran across the street to her sister and brother-in-law's house. Well, thank God. Because no one was home, she ran 50 more yards to V.A. Pratter's house.
This woman a goddamn track star? Holy shit.
It's just like fucking adrenaline, man.
Adrenaline.
It's crazy what it can do. So Pratter answered her call for help. She gasped, Virgil's dead, then collapsed. Pratter shot a rifle in the air to summon another neighbor, which is weird to me. Which I'm just like, he shot to like, is that like...
Obviously the gunshots didn't tell anyone anything before.
What? That's what I'm like he said, like he shot a, like, do they have a signal, like, in case somebody gets murdered, listen for my gunshot? I don't know. Like, or maybe they got together, like, in case, like, so if I'm in trouble and you hear a shot in the air, like, help me. I don't know.
If you hear the chown,
it's just... But I mean, again, like, I know, like, it's 1946. These people don't have probably, like...
They have to have certain neighborhood watch protocol.
They might. So they get together in a meeting with their cookies and stuff.
Okay, when I make the gunshot 2 times in a row,
but if it's...
and the squirrel runs on the last leg of the air.
But if I shoot 3 times, it means I'm getting lucky, so don't come over. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway.
But if I shoot my... Could you imagine that's like a thing? Like, all right, if I shoot my gun 3 times, it means leave me alone. I'm getting some.
Right? No, I can't imagine that. But it would be hilarious.
Shoot 3 times in the air with your pistol if you love me. Never mind. I fucked that up. You know that song?
I do actually know what you're talking about.
3 times on the window if you love me.
Oh, yeah.
Twice on the pipe. Donk, donk.
Oh, my God.
Twice on my pipe.
Oh, yeah. Number 47 for the dick jokes.
All right. Sexual innuendo number
17. Yeah, so
back to the story.
Right. So Pratter shot a rifle in the air to summon another neighbor, Elmer Taylor. Pratter called to Taylor and to bring his car because Mr. and Mrs. Starks had been shot.
Is that what the 2 gunshots meant? Bring your car. Someone's been shot.
I guess so. Mrs. Starks to Taylor, along with Mr. and Mrs. Pratter and their baby, rode with Mrs. Starks to Michael Megner Hospital, now Miller County Health Unit, Mrs. Starks gave Mr. Taylor, the driver, one of her teeth with a gold filling.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for this.
Right. She was in a semi-conscious state, slumping forward on the front seat. So I don't know. But I mean, I feel like maybe it was just like she didn't want somebody to steal it, which I'm sure that probably.
Please take
this.
This is
but you
my
know,
last.
I bet you that fucking happens. Like she probably thought she was gonna die, and I bet you like she's probably heard stories like what if like coroners probably like pulled out gold fillings, because like they're not gonna use it. But can you imagine that? Like I'm sure she probably thought that, and then she was like,
"You take my gold teeth,
right?"
son.
So she's like, "Here you go. You go melt that fucking down, and whatever.
You'll buy a nice
suit,
Cadillac."
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So she was in a semi-conscious state, slumping forward on the front seat. Although she lost a considerable amount of blood, obviously, she showed no signs of going into shock, and her heart rate remained fucking normal.
Damn, that lady did some meditation.
Right?
She was a
Jesus
yogi master.
Or she was smoking a lot of weed. I don't know.
That too.
Miller County Sheriff, who became the head of the investigation, questioned Mrs. Starks in the operating room at the hospital. 4 days later, Sheriff Davis talked with Mrs. Starks again at the hospital. So, just to see what her story was. But obviously, we got a detailed account. So,
and she never died. She survived.
She survived. Yeah, she survived. So the investigation. So throughout the investigations of the Phantom Killer case, and that's what kind of the paper deemed him was the Phantom Killer.
No one fucking knew who was doing this.
Yeah. So and they do make a note that obviously I don't think that Mrs. Starks saw his face or she couldn't remember, but she didn't report if he was wearing a mask or not. So the only one that was reported, so they don't know if he was wearing a mask for the other two murders because obviously there's no eyewitnesses. Yeah. But they're just assuming that it was the same guy. So throughout the investigations of the Phantom Killer case, almost 400 suspects were arrested.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're like, we don't have any leads, so we're going to cast a wide fucking net.
It's gonna 400 people?
Yeah.
Like...
And question. So even though there were numerous...
You guys are just literally making your job a lot harder.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
But I mean, I guess they don't have anything else.
Right? Because
what else are they supposed to do?
Yeah, what else are they going to be? Yeah.
I think it might be you. You have a face, so maybe you shot her.
You got thumbs and fingers and stuff.
You have hair.
Yeah.
You look like you could kill someone.
You're a human being. So even though there were numerous suspects and at least a handful of false confessions, only one suspect was really ever strongly considered to be the killer. Ewell Sweeney, which I'm pretty sure I'm saying.
Ewell?
Ewell. I think it's Ewell.
Like the Ewells from To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yes.
Is that their name? The Ewells.
The Ewells? Yeah, it's Ewell. So Ewell Sweeney.
Sweeney Todd, Ewell, Earl Ewell, or whatever his name is.
A car thief. And he was arrested and taken in for questioning. He refused to talk to police, but his young wife, Peggy, told officers that her husband was the Phantom Killer. Unfortunately, due to Arkansas law at the time, Peggy could not be made to testify against her husband, and she was thus deemed an unreliable witness. Sweeney was sent to prison for car theft, but never tried for the murders since the evidence was all circumstantial. When Sweeney was arrested for selling a stolen car in Arkansas, he apparently told more than one person, "You got me more than for stealing cars." So he said that to people, as well as other incriminating statements asking about the death penalty. When his wife was told her husband was arrested for suspicion of murder, she exclaimed, "How did they find it? How did they find it out?" She was also able to take officers to the scene of one of the crimes, saying that she had gone in there with her husband. Heel prints were indeed found there. He was known for stealing cars and clothes and was arrested with a suitcase full of clothes. One of the shirts said Stark on it. From the Starks, on the back of it. Unfortunately, however, the evidence was circumstantial without any testimony from Peggy, who was scared to death of her husband. So she recanted everything. So she said that he did it, but then she got scared of him and then just was like, oh, well, and she doesn't have to testify because it's her husband and that was a law at the time. So she's like, nope, never mind. I don't really do it anymore. So now all the...
Okay.
Right. So now all the evidence is circumstantial because she's not going to fucking testify. And even if she did, like, there was no, I mean, back then, though, like, all the evidence was fucking circumstantial. The only thing they really had to go on was fingerprints, and they did say that the fingerprint that they found, I believe, at the first double homicide did not match Sweeney's fingerprints. So they're like, well, that doesn't match, so that kind of sucks.
Damn it.
I know. So he was. I already said that. The police arrested and convicted him of car thief and just let him and let the story quietly die out from there. He served his time and was eventually released.
And they still don't know.
Right. So additionally, after Sweeney went to jail, though, the killing stopped. So if that's maybe it's a coincidence, or maybe the Phantom Killer just decided to quit. Who knows?
He needed to read his Texarkana Gazette.
Yes, he did. Authorities considered the case closed after he received a life sentence for stealing cars. Unfortunately, Sweeney was eventually released. He never admitted to the killings, and if he did, he took the secret to the grave with him when he died in 1994. And since the crime happened so long ago, the evidence no longer remains, and the case will likely remain unsolved. So, it is still unsolved.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
it's so frustrating.
It's super frustrating. But kind of what came out of that was this urban legend about the Phantom Killer and this cautionary tale about,
don't go to Lover's Lane.
Don't go to Lover's Lane, and about sex and everything. And the reason why I did this story too is that scared the shit out of me for a split second.
Someone fell upstairs.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know why I'm all like anyway, because I'm reading about murder.
The killer.
On Hulu there's a documentary called Killer Legends, so it's about urban legends. And this is one of them about kind of the Phantom. They do I think it's there's one on killer clowns and like the the babysitter getting killed or whatever. Like we see all those movies about
and the
just the urban
Halloween candy,
the Halloween
guy.
Yeah, the Candyman and stuff like that. And so this is one of them where it's the Phantom Killer, and it's the cautionary tale about having sex underage or whatever it is. Especially back in the 40s and 50s and even 60s.
Oh, it was gold.
1,000%. So
yes, we can make kids not have sex with each other now.
Right. So it put it was almost it was fucking just a feeding ground.
You'll get murdered if you have sex before you're married.
So it was like a feeding ground for that. So the attacks had the people of Texarkana on edge. Citizens bought guns and set up makeshift traps full of pots and pans that hung on wires around their homes.
Oh my God.
The town quite literally shut down at sundown during that time. Wow. And this inspired the 1977 film, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which I've never seen that. But teenage couples were warned against going to places to park and make out. Everyone lived in terror, and the media thrived off of it. The Texarkana Gazette really helped fuel the frenzy with their constant coverage and branding of the very real nightmare. The almost tabloid-esque use of headlines such as "sex maniac hunted and murders" helped keep the town nervously watching for who the killer would be and who the next victim would be. So it was like that.
And it was only in that area, right?
It was only in that area, so it was just like, you guys don't go park and make out because you will get chlamydia and you will die.
And you will die.
You will die. So it became just, again, cautionary tale about sex. And that's what, again, like Killer Legends, I think, did a great like little story on it and stuff like that. But they also talk about how they do like this. They do the showing of the film. The town that Texarkana does it. In Spring Lake Park, they do a showing around Halloween every year. Like kind of. In Spring Lake Park was the area like where one of the murders had happened.
Yeah, I think I saw that, like
right.
in the actual place where it was.
Right. So it's just like, so this town has actually kind of almost thrived off its own, which I mean, it was only back in the 40s, so I'm sure, you know, some of the family members are still around or whatever, so I don't know if that's obnoxious for them or whatever. So yeah, it went from a town that was being really scared of this, but it kind of morphed into something.
That's like what the town is known for.
Right. So, and they
probably just like bank off of it, you know?
Right. So
it's a tourist destination now.
Yeah. So the film, though, I think a lot of people, and that's I think where urban legends kind of come from. A lot of people think that the film is way more fact than fiction. So like, for instance, one of the biggest differences was how, you know, the girl that played the saxophone, Brooker. So she she was just, she was shot in the face, which is horrible. But in the film, it was depicted that she was a trombone player in the film.
Oh, hell no.
And that,
two different things.
Right, but the killer had put like a knife on like the trombone slide and like killed her that way.
Oh, fuck.
Right. So a lot of people think that that's how she was murdered. So that's just, again, how...
Wasn't that cool, guys?
No, it wasn't.
Just kidding.
But that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, so like it's the story.
But it's Hollywood. That's what they all do.
It is, but like, again, it's just, again, that kind of the roots of an urban legend and how that kind of... people really believe that's how she died. But she was actually almost worse, which was shot in the face. So, I mean, either one is horrible. So,
I can't believe fucking that Stark lady survived and ran around her house with blood-stained eyes.
I know. So
that's my takeaway.
That's
a bad bitch right there.
It's just interesting how
she's 100% that bitch.
Right. So it's interesting how some like, just, you can get two people get shot in the face and one reacts completely different to it. It's just the fucking human body is fucking bizarre to me, man. So the case remains unsolved, and the only thing really left of it is probably a way more functional urban legend than the actual killer itself. So,
well, I hope that guy really was the killer, and
he probably was.
Got some time.
Yeah, but who knows?
Who
the fuck knows? Just one of those ones. But anyway, so yeah, that's the story.
That was a good crime.
It was a good crime.
That was a great crime.
Yes, I figured I'd take it back to Texas.
Take it back to your hometown. Not hometown.
No, not where.
You grew up in Texarkana. I knew it.
Sure didn't.
You run the festivals every year at the park.
I do. I go down just for that.
Knew it.
I knew you did.
Well, Shay.
Well, that was good.
That was good.
It was good.
We drank some dirty horchatas and we talked about dirty phantoms.
We did. It was good.
And we had dirty minds the whole time.
We did. I don't know what was in the fucking air today.
Horchata, so
that's true, probably.
Our minds were just right in the gutter.
Right in the gutter.
With all the dicks.
All of the dicks.
In the gutter.
Jesus. Exactly.
Hashtag dick gutter.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Hashtag let's roll.
Oh, I have to go get my thingy.
Well, we got to get our dice. I hope you guys liked my... Oh, hey, do you guys follow us on Instagram? If you don't, you should. Also, tell your friends if you like us. Tell them to give us a listen. We always love seeing when we have new listeners. And I just also want you guys to know that Shay is literally not even in the room right now, and I'm just talking into the microphone by myself, just trying to fill up some time. But yeah, follow us on Instagram. Also, leave us a little voice message. We did get one from our dear friend Mitchell Canahan. I don't know how to say your last name, Mitch. I'm sorry. And Shay actually has never met him, but now he's our dear friend. Yes, he is. But he left us a little voice memo.
He did.
It worked.
It did work.
It works, guys. If you use it, it works.
It does.
I don't know if we're going to put anything in this episode, but I don't know how to do that. Shay's going to have to figure that shit out. But we do get them. So thank you, Mitch.
Perfect.
For your first voice note.
It was nice.
It was. He gave us some good feedback.
Yeah. It was awesome. So it makes us happy that you guys like what you're hearing.
Yeah, we like hearing that we're, we're having a blast doing this, but we want to make sure that you guys, obviously we got people listening every week, so that's awesome and exciting.
It is exciting.
It is.
It's good. So we're glad we're filling your ear holes with awesomeness.
Yes, and just hopefully giving you a couple laughs
along the way. Throughout your commute or whatever you're doing.
Commute.
Whatever you're doing.
Or maybe we're putting you to sleep. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe we're really, really just good, just fucking quaaludes or something.
Yeah,
that's not right. That's not.
I don't think that's what you use to go to sleep. You could probably. It's fucking quaaludes.
Quaaludes all damn day.
Anyways.
Okay.
Do you want to roll?
I want to roll. All right. Oh, wait. Let me pull up my thingy. I don't know why. It's like a surprise every fucking week.
Rolling with the homies.
Oh, it's another sad.
Oh, Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy.
Who sings that in Clueless, but the real do you know who really sings that song?
I can't remember who it was.
Motherfucking Coolio.
There it is.
Rolling with the homies.
Well, I guess I just have to do crime again. I got 2.
You got 2? Maybe I'll roll 2 and we'll both do crime. And we'll just go commit a crime. Just kidding, guys.
Or are we?
The only crime I commit is
all right. I'm gonna do crime again.
Too
Fuck it.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, I was like, I could just roll again, but like that would be cheating.
You're right. We never cheat.
Never.
All right, crime it is. You like to do that?
I do love me some crime.
Okay, my turn to roll.
All right. 1. Nostalgia.
Yes.
You love nostalgia.
I love nostalgia.
Yeah.
I just literally flipped my headphones off my own head of hair.
I like it. Head hair.
Hell yeah, nostalgia.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully you guys don't mind me doing crime again.
Oh, we don't.
And if you don't, or if you do, well, oh well.
You don't have a choice.
No have a choice, but you
tell
do.
us,
Please
just tell us about it.
Just tell us
if you're
about
mad
it. If you're
Shay,
mad about it, yeah, please tell us.
Yeah, if Shay rolling the same thing and talking about the same thing really bursts your bubble, you just let us know.
Yeah, you just tell us. It'd be
or
like,
if it makes you really
you
happy,
dumb idiot.
or if it makes you really happy, tell us.
Yeah, well maybe
tell us anything. Your problems. Your
maybe
secrets.
if your rant's hilarious, we'll put it up, put it on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that part out.
Oh, we just slip it right in there. We just slip it right in there.
Oh, slip it right in like a
there it is.
roofie.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a dick joke. Okay.
It was, but I changed it because I knew you thought it was gonna be about a wiener.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't.
Well, yeah, you already gave like a little shout out and everything else, so we can.
I already
get
covered
the fuck
my
on
bases.
out of here. Yeah.
Well, thanks guys for listening to us.
Yeah.
Ladies and
gents.
Well, I was saying that we're the ladies.
Oh.
I know that sounded weird. I was saying
super
thanks for
confused.
listening to us ladies. And then but thank you ladies and gentlemen and theys who are listening.
Oh, good call.
Got it.
Got
it. I'm learning. Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.